it's good to start with the general statement that the high growth, big investment, big savings, big export, and a lot of debt. So that growth model for China has largely come to an end. More specifically, for the near term, for the rest of this year and 2023, the picture looks not too great in the sense that the government put 5.5% GDP growth as the target for this year. But for the first quarter of this year, as many of you know, because of zero COVID policy restrictions, the first quarter achieved, according to the official statistics, 4% GDP growth rate. And then for the second quarter, the official number is 0.4% GDP growth. For the third quarter we are in right now, it's also likely to be a very, very low positive number, maybe less than 1%, if not negative. So for this year, it's highly unlikely for the official target of 5.5% GDP growth to be really reached. So for next year, all the headwinds are pretty strong. If we look at the three horsemen of the economy, so investment, consumption, and export. So all these three engines or three horsemen are not looking too great. For example, for investment growth for this year so far, the year-over-year growth rate has been around 5 to 6%. Even 1 year ago, investment growth rate was way above 10% year-over-year. So now it's at about half that growth rate, especially given high unemployment rate for the population, in particular for young people, like between age 17 and 24. Right now, the unemployment rate is about 20%, which is not just affecting economic growth, but also suggesting some potential social stability problems down the road. Then export growth is going lower and lower, which is not surprising given the decoupling efforts by the US and now Western European countries. And also maybe there is some decoupling efforts going on between Korea and China as well. So the export growth rate for last month, for August, has come down to about 7%. Remember, a year ago, export growth was more like close to 30% year over year. So now it's at a rate less than 1/3 of last year's growth speed. So overall, all the sectors are investment, consumption, and export are experiencing quite a lot of slowdown. So next year, I think this trend will continue.
Professor Chen Zhiwu gave a beautiful summary of China's state of the economy. Whenever you talk about future of China's economy, it's always two camps, coming class of China and an optimistic group. Every year, for the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I have been among the optimistic group of people, but every time I underestimated the strength of China's economy. The few things probably not well noticed about the strength of China's economy, and then as I termed a coin as economic disruption. Since year 2000, China had 11 global Fortune 500 company in 2001. Last year, 129, overtaking US for 2 years. China had a $1 billionaire in 2001. Last year, 539. The Chinese economy generated more large-scale companies, more billionaires than any other economy on earth. One of the reasons why China did well is because this economic disruptions continued, sustained economic disruptions. You look at 2010, Forbes ranking of 10 richest people in China, 2010. And look at today, 10 richest people in China. Only one person stayed at the top 10, is Pony Ma of Tencent. You know what I'm saying? 2010, 10 rich people in China. All 9 people disappeared from the list of 10 rich people today. So the Chinese economy did so well is because, to me, it's by far the most disruptive economy on earth. And that's the reason why it did well. And I hope China economy continue to be very disruptive in the future.